Listen, I'm not in the business of giving other businesses free promotion, but McDonald's is going to have to make a new sandwich and call it the McDaniels and put the hottest sauce that you got on top of it, because Jaden freaking McDaniels, to paraphrase 21st century philosopher Anthony Devontae Edwards, we got Jaden freaking McDaniels. He was absolutely on fire tonight. 25 points, 11 of 13 shooting, and it's appropriate that it's about to be 4:20 in an hour because the Minnesota Timberwolves absolutely smoked the LA Lakers in Los Angeles, 117-95. It's been way too long since I've been able to say this, but welcome back to Wolves Fan Line, a.k.a. Howlin with the homies. And it's been too long. I think it's time, y'all. We got to unleash one. Your Minnesota Timberwolves are up 1-0 on the Los Angeles Lakers in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs. And we're here celebrating, howling all night. My name is Max Fuller, a.k.a. Max Keel O'Neal, a.k.a. Froby Bryant, a.k.a. a million other things. And I'm sitting here alongside my Fox 9 cohort, Amy Hocker. Yeah, come on, you gotta let that out from the soul, Amy. We need What a freaking game, Amy.
Max. Hey, can I get some nacho fries with that burger? How about
I like that.
Nas Reed.
Nacho fries.
How about Nas Reed tonight?
God. I mean, we could just go through the list and just say, how about How about Anthony Edwards? How about Julius? Like, literally almost every single player on the team. It was looking bleak in that first quarter. It was looking like it was going to be one of those nights. I know I wasn't the only one that was having flashbacks to last year. I started sweating my afro out because this isn't real. This is just a weave anyway. So it started falling off my head. I'm thinking that Luka's going to torch us once again. But the Wolves clamped down, outscored the Lakers by 18 points in that second quarter, and it was kind of just off to the races from there.
It really was. I remember the point at which I was watching, and at the bottom of the screen it says Wolves take the lead for the first time, and I remember thinking just mentally to myself, all right, just get ready, because this may be the only time.
Right.
And you just don't know, right? Nobody knew what to expect coming into this, except for all of the so-called experts who were like, oh, Lakers got this. They got this.
Every single pundit on ESPN.
Every single one.
I mean, are they going to have an emergency episode of First? Did they just wake Stephen A. Smith out of a cold sleep? Because the LeBron James and the Lakers just lost. Newsflash. I mean, it's so exciting, Amy, not just because, obviously, because we're Wolves fans and they're playing from that underdog role, but just being on this national stage. This is the premier matchup in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs and all of the NBA playoffs. And the Wolves not only answered the bell, they woke up the rest of the NBA and said, we are here and we can hang with the big dogs.
Well, yeah, because everybody's still hanging on the Luka Doncic storyline, right? Everybody's still talking about that. All the attention is still on that. And most of the country knows that we have Anthony Edwards. You know, Magic Johnson tweeted about 3 or 4 days ago. He said, oh, you know, that this matchup with Anthony Edwards, and he was really worried about that. And I said something like, you know what, not to him, because I'm talking to Magic Johnson.
Right.
I put it out there in the universe, right, on Twitter. I was like, yeah, we know that's the known. What about the unknowns? What about every single other player we have? What about our bench? What about Dante and Nas when they come off the bench? And look what happened. I saw a funny tweet from, I can't remember, I think it's the Pioneer Press reporters at Jace Frederick. Yeah, I think it was him. Maybe it wasn't him. Sorry, Jace, if it wasn't you. But he was tweeting, he said, hey, I just met Jack Black. And he just had a conversation with him, and we found out that I was covering the Wolves here in LA. And he said, yeah, that number 3. He, for you guys, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Like, oh, okay. You mean Jaden McDaniels? Know the name. I mean,
put some respect on that name after that.
Yeah, so hopefully the rest of the country sees now what we see, which is depth, depth, depth.
And that is a huge thing for this Wolves team. And that's like, even the pundits that were picking the Lakers, that was one of the things that was glaringly apparent, is that this Lakers team, it's top heavy, to say the least. It's LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and then a significant drop off from there. And me and you talked about it before, Amy. This Wolves team, even more so than last year, has depth, and that burden of scoring is not only on Anthony Edwards' shoulders. And we saw that in this game. I mean, like, when they're sharing the rock, and a guy like Jaden McDaniels can go off like this, or we've seen over the past couple of weeks Rudy Gobert getting involved in the offense, this team is really hard to beat.
Yeah, and, I'm sure the rest of the country, those who have not been watching and paying attention to the Wolves, especially the last couple of months, walked away going, wow, Ant just really didn't have a good game. And, wow, it really looked for him to pop off. But, you and I sat and we watched the press conference with Anthony Edwards just 3 days ago when he said, look, during practice right now, I'm just kind of stepping aside a little bit.
Right.
I'm actually just working on dishing the ball to this guy and this guy, and I'm cool with whoever getting 30 points. It doesn't have to be me. And we saw that tonight, and he really, he was a facilitator, and he did such an incredible job. And there were so many of those players. Even Nah didn't have the best shooting night, but like everybody's contributing in different ways.
Right.
And this machine does not function like the way it does tonight if everybody wasn't a part of it. And that's what's so cool when you look at that leaderboard and you see who was shooting well tonight. It was across the board. It wasn't, Nazir great, and Jaden obviously, but it's all those little things that we don't really see or notice as much that just make this thing just blow up.
3 different players in over 20 points or more, and then Julius Randle not too far behind with 16 points. And you kind of mentioned it with Nickeil Alexander-Walker having an impact without necessarily being an impact you can see on the stat sheet. Obviously, Julius ended up kind of having a decent offensive game there, but I thought right away he was a tone setter for that Timberwolves team. Not only just throwing bows at LeBron, which I love. It's like, take that, old man. Yeah, get up off that bad hip and come face the Timberwolves, the big bad Timberwolves. But I thought just right away, something that the Wolves did not do enough in that Dallas Mavericks series last year was make Luka Doncic work defensively.
Yes.
And I thought Julius Randle started doing that almost right away. I mean, they were picking on Luka Doncic like he had tape on his glasses in middle school. He was an absolute dork out there to the Minnesota Timberwolves, because he had 17 points in that first quarter, and then I think he ended the half with 18. So, I mean, they shut it down in that second quarter where they made that run. And I thought that was a tone setter right there. Julius not only facilitating, because we know that's kind of been his role since he's come back from injury, is facilitating the offense, but just setting the tone with that physicality. It seemed like there was a timeout there in that second quarter where Finch was like, we're bigger than these guys. We're stronger than these guys. Let's show it. And from there on out, they put the foot on the gas.
Yeah, absolutely. You haven't had a chance to get to know Howard much at Fox 9. Howard works the desk, and he's a huge Julius Randle fan, and bought the jersey, invested in the jersey right before he got traded to Minnesota. So he was a fan of Julius way back, and he said to me, he's like, you probably aren't going to like Julius Randle when he gets here. And I thought, really? Okay. And I thought, well, maybe, we'll see how it happens. And I got to be honest, I think when he first got here, there were a lot of us who were like, is he trying hard enough?
Right.
Is he, it feels like he's not trying hard enough.
There was a Julius Randle low light tape on the timeline. It seemed like every single night.
Is he toxic? I hope he's not toxic. And then the injury happened, and then he started to turn things around. And now we see, when he talks about this team, when he talks about his role, he really, you call it seamless. He really is finding who he is on this team, and he knows Ant's the leader, and he knows now what his role is. But to see him come into his own, and to see the interactions now with them, and Jim P talks about this a lot. I get a chance to interview him once in a while and have just extended conversations with Jim P, which is a gift, by the way.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to just sit and pick his brain about these Timberwolves, man, that's a gift.
I know this phrase is said a lot, but he has literally forgotten more about basketball than almost anybody will ever know.
Absolutely. And not to mention his time with the Lynx, and we never even talk about all that, but just his mind, as PA would say, elite basketball mind, right? But he follows things so closely. He's with the team. They travel with the team, him and Grady. He sees on the ground, front row, how things are going for real, for real. And he told me about a month and a half ago, he told me, he's like, this team is better than last year's team.
Wow.
And I was like, that's something. That's something. When somebody says that and they're that close to the team, I got to believe them.
Right. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding. 117-95 win in game one. And Amy, as much as me and you could just talk about this all
Nobody
night,
wants to hear that.
we want to howl with the homies. We got some people on the line. Brendan from Minneapolis, you're the first guest on Howlin with the Homies 2025. So I'm going to need a big a hootie hoo from the soul, brother. Let me hear it.
Hootie hoo!
Okay.
Let's go,
All
Maxx.
right. Let's
So
go,
good.
Brendan. Appreciate that. What you want to talk about, Doc?
Yo, Matt, so last year, Game 7, I called in, and you broke me down. We broke each other down. It was awesome. Man, this series, I love the underdog mentality. I love the calmness that we've had all week from the team. And they come in today, they get a little bit shell-shocked early, get their stuff together. Man, they look good. I think 4 through 7, 4 through 8, we're just outclassing them. We're going to wear them down. Wolves in 5, baby. Hootie hoo!
Love it.
I said Wolves in 3. We don't even need the fourth game. We whooping them so bad. But I think Brendan makes a good point there. Is that the Wolves, we saw it during the week, during the pressers and stuff like that. Anthony Edwards fully embraced that underdog role, which I mean, he's kind of used to playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But last year when they were in the playoffs, they were one of the upper seeds. They were one of the best teams in the NBA. So they had a little bit more of a target on their back, and now they're coming in as a complete underdog against not only one of the most historic franchises in all of North American team sports in the Los Angeles Lakers, but also against LeBron James. And Anthony Edwards was not fazed by it whatsoever. He had a smirk on his face, and he said, I like that they're now picking the Timberwolves. I understand nobody wants the Timberwolves to win, and we don't care. And Chris Finch has said it multiple times throughout the week leading up to this game. The Wolves heard that noise, and the best teams, they don't let it distract them. They internalize it. They use it as a motivational factor, and it seems like they've fully embraced this underdog role, and they're ready to shock the world, Amy.
Yeah, it was just a couple of months ago. Remember when the Wolves started doing really, really well, and we were like, bring on the playoffs, let's go. And then all of a sudden they dropped one to like Washington. They dropped one to the Pelicans or
Right.
something. And then the Jazz, and we're like, what is going on? And I think it was Julius who said in post game one time, he said, yeah, we started believing the hype, and we can't do that.
Right.
And so I hope they learned that lesson. They seem to have, watching the post today and listening to them talking tonight, they sound pretty even keeled. They sound like they're just taking it in and not going to do anything different. Game 2, let's just keep riding this, nice even keel. No expectations. Just keep doing the same thing.
And we even saw that tonight because I know I'm not the only one. They got that big lead early, and I'm like, all right, hold on. I had my bleep the Lakers tweets and everything ready to go. I'm like, let me put that in the drafts right now because it ain't over till it's over. This is Minnesota Timberwolves basketball. I believe it was John Krasinski that said something like the Wolves have a 16-point lead, which is in Wolves a 2-point lead, essentially. Because we've all seen that. We've seen that exact script play out many a times this season, but I think that's just a testament to their growth and their maturity, is that they kept the foot on the gas. The Lakers went on a small little run there when we had that scare with Anthony Edwards, which I'm not trying to trivialize it whatsoever, but about every 5 or 6 games it's scheduled that Anthony Edwards has something go wrong with his ankle. He looks like he got shot. Everyone in Minnesota holds their breaths until we look like the gal from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, and then Anthony Edwards comes back out and saves the day once again and brings the energy and the hype back, and that's exactly what happened tonight. So just a small little scare, but otherwise I thought they showed a lot of maturity, just keeping their foots on the Lakers' necks and not letting up. Not even given that there was, I think the Lakers got it down to something like 13, 11.
That might have been
something like that, but it never. As a Wolves fan that is always ready for the sky to fall, it never truly felt like the sky was falling today.
No, and I was telling you on the way in here, I really thought that the Lakers would come back and try to close that gap even more and close it even more, and they just weren't able to do it. But yeah, I was in the same boat, Max, about, I don't know, a quarter and a half in or so. I had my hand on the keyboard too. And I was like, we remember, so we temper. That's kind of what was going through my head, like temper yourself. And I think I tweeted something like, this is an enjoyable game, because I was just not going to do the all caps screaming thing at that point. I just wasn't going to do it.
I did. So I did it enough for everybody. We got some Timberwolves fans behind enemy lines. We got Spencer over in L.A. Yo, Spencer, what's it look like in L.A. right now? Is Hollywood just falling apart because the Timberwolves just came through and wrecked shop?
Well, I'm going to tell you what they're hearing.
Yeah!
Oh, so good.
I just woke up half of Silver Lake out here, buddy.
I appreciate you, dog. Let them know, because they've been sleeping on us too long. They've been catching too many Z's. I've been hearing too many honks, me. They wake them up, brother. Wake them up.
This was so much fun. I've been in the car, and I've had you guys in my AirPods, and then on the radio I've had 710 ESPN. And listening to the Laker post game is a combination of confusion, somberness, and just utter despair. They're so confused. They have no idea what happened. They're just completely shell-shocked. And it's been so much fun to listen to. I'm so excited for this series. I'm not surprised at all. This is the best version of Anthony Edwards that we can get, is the guy who's flirting with a triple-double, getting people involved. And I think the thing that was most exciting this week, I heard him say in a couple interviews that one of the first things he was going to focus on was not talking to the refs. And my brother-in-law texted me, and he said, boy, Ant just seems kind of different tonight. I said, yeah, because he's not fighting the refs. He's fighting the Lakers. And I think that was one of the best versions that Anthony Edwards can bring to this. And last thing, that loss to Milwaukee, I was so lucky. I didn't watch it. But when I saw what happened, I went, this is the best. As long as we don't lose a top 6 seed, this is the best thing that can happen to us. There's such a thing called as good losses right before you can go on a run, because they learn from that and they know not to get complacent. That's going to come back. That's going to pay off in dividends. Watch. That's part of our maturity. Max, you're freaking amazing. Amy, I love your insight. I'm looking at the text. You said, what an enjoyable game. And right above that, JJ Reddit, call 612 TSR time. And then Steve Terry. You won't help him.
Steve Terry said, we're not going to help you. I love it. I know. So good. So good. We're so glad you called
You're
in.
all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Spencer. Appreciate you, dog. Everybody's so hype. It's just good to feel that energy back in Minnesota that only the Timberwolves can bring. Hopefully the Wild can carry that energy tomorrow night when they face off against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. But in the meantime, we're relishing in this Timberwolves win. And I really like what he said about Anthony, because you mentioned it too, kind of how you might, if you're a casual NBA fan, especially Timberwolves fan, you might be looking at these numbers and you think, oh, I thought Anthony Edwards was going to score. I mean, he had not only 22 points, but 9 assists. And I think that's the key. Anthony Edwards is the driving force of this team. Yeah. That's not, I mean, nobody, I'm not breaking any news. No, I'm not an elite Timberwolves mind telling you that, breaking it down. That's exactly what he is. But when he's dishing the rock, when he's facilitating, when he's making sure everybody's involved, not just hype emotionally off the court, but in the game, this team is almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think he missed something like, and I don't know the exact number, but it was like 6 layups. There's, he was missing some. So when he's getting under the basket, when he would look out and he would see the open man out there and he would throw it, you were like, yes, that's the guy. And who was it? Was it Nas or somebody in the post game who was like, it's like he's 30 years old, right? Because he just has that maturity now. And I just love to see it. And yeah, he's such a leader. And he did promise. He promised no tease. So we'll see. Finch picked it up from Julius got one too. Did he get
think
one?
so.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
But yet, oddly, just nothing for Luke, nothing for I don't know.
Yeah,
It's weird.
How crazy is that? And then the Lakers, they said in the second quarter they didn't commit a foul at all until midway through. How?
Man, there's some good defense they've been playing.
What a clean playing basketball
amazing. Good for them. See, there's a win for them tonight.
Right. I love in that post-game press conference when Anthony Edwards asked for the free throw numbers, then just said, okay, you're right. We all know what's up. The Timberwolves know what's up. It's no secret. The Lakers get significantly more foul calls than anybody else. But we didn't even have to. As Minnesota sports fans, we got to keep the ref card in the deck tonight. Right. We did not have to play it whatsoever. It didn't matter. Timberwolves blow out the Los Angeles Lakers 117-95.
Wait, can you just say that again one more time?
Timberwolves will blow out the Los Angeles Lakers, smoke them like a blunt at Snoop Dogg's house in about 44 minutes, or pretty much any time, because it's Snoop Dogg and every day is 420 at Snoop Dogg's house. And the Timberwolves take a 1-0 lead in the Western Conference playoffs. If you're just tuning in, my name is Max Fuller, hanging out with Fox 9's Amy Hockert. This is Howlin with the homies. We're going to go for just a little bit longer here because I know it's getting late out there, but we wanted to celebrate with all of y'all, including Dave from Baja. Dave, what's good, my brother? You're Howlin with the homies.
¿Qué onda, güey? It's Baja Dave.
What's up, Baja
sorry if my
Dave?
Connection. Nada mucho. Estoy muy bien, muy feliz.
Oh, it's okay. I speak Spanish. I'm
Yeah,
good. We're
sorry if my connection's a little funky. I'm in Mulegé, Baja. That was beautiful game. Thank you guys both, man. ¿Qué onda, Maxo? ¿Qué onda, Amy? Howly how! Yeah, we're representing around the country, around the world. I'm just so stoked on this team. They've been playing the last month was insane. Everybody playing out of their minds, except maybe Ant and Nas. But the last couple of weeks, they've found their games, and now they're seriously dangerous. And I think people, hopefully, if they rebound, if they don't foul, if they limit turnovers, this could be a lot of fun, man. So just want to thank you guys listening, keeping in touch, and yeah, dude, let's go. Oh!
All right.
Gracias, Baja
Te
Dave.
amo,
Appreciate
Baja
it.
Dave.
Appreciate it. I'm trying to get on Baja Dave's level as soon as I get out
Seriously.
of work here. Someone that's not at work tonight, but is always working hard at the Target Center, getting everybody hype at the Timberwolves home games. And he'll be in action on Friday when they return home from Game 3. We got MC John B, Mr. John Barry on the line. John, what's good, my brother? How you feeling after that big old fat dub on them Lakers?
The grape apes are flowing here
Let's go.
at my house, and it's wild. I am so hyped. It's 11 o'clock, and I'm 40 years old, and it's past my bedtime, but I can't sleep right now. This is amazing.
Seriously.
You just spoke to my soul when you said that. It's past my bedtime, but my leg is shaking. I'm sweating. I just, my heart is palpitating. I mean, this is the stuff that you dream of as a Wolves fan, isn't it, John? This is what we live for. I mean, I get it. It's a game one win. We're not acting like we won the NBA Finals here. And people always tell me, Max, act like you've been there. I ain't been there, okay? Last year is like the first time I've been there, and I'm never going to act like I've been there.
You're jumping on the scorer's table right now.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I
Let's
got
go.
tears strolling down my eyes. If Amy wasn't in the studio with me, I'd have the tarps off right now. John, what do you obviously Jaden McDaniels, he's the MVP of the game, but what do you think really turned around? Because it looked bleak there in that first quarter. What do you think turned around this game for the Timberwolves to the point where they didn't really have to look back after the second quarter?
I think it was the depth of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And you saw that when Nas and Dante came in, and they're just so much better than the Lakers' depth. So you saw them go on that run in the second quarter, take the lead, and never look back.
And I think part of that also is not just the depth, because I don't have the bench numbers in front of my face right now, but I would imagine they're completely lopsided. I mean, the Wolves bench absolutely just dominated not only the Lakers bench, but probably the Lakers starters as well. But obviously the physicality played a huge element here, John, and that was one thing that we've been talking about here in town for the last week or so, ever since this matchup was announced. That's one clear advantage that this Wolves team has, and from the second quarter on, they really took advantage of not only their size, but just out physicaling those little scrawny, dorky, dweeby Lakers.
Yeah, and to do that without Rudy having his Rudy game is even better. Like that just makes it so much better for the rest of the series. If you can get Rudy now on his Rudy games, that's going to be it's lights out for the Lakers then, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was so worried, John, when he got what three fouls in I think in 2 quarters. But hey, I got to ask you, how hype are you for the first home game? Like, I can't even imagine what that's going to be like on what is it, Friday?
Amy, it's one game at a time.
Let's
It's a game two.
no, John. No. We gotta look ahead.
We already
to when
No.
We're already planning the
We're
party, John.
We're 2 up, and we're coming back home on Friday. How excited are you?
If we're up 2 going into Friday, I don't think my excitement can hold inside my house, inside of Minneapolis. Target Center, there'll be people lining up at 4 a.m. Friday morning to get into Target Center. Like, it's going to be so wild if we're up 2-0. But again, game 2, Tuesday. Let's do one at a time. Let's not look too far ahead. Let's do one game at a time. We got to get
Why you
to
gotta be
4.
the adult in the room, John? Come on, man.
Yeah, I know
Sorry.
you're 40, John.
Sorry.
Like, come on. Act 35 for one night.
Max.
I know. Temper.
We got to act like we've been there. We got to act like we've been there.
I can't. I'm a bad actor, John.
One-
Everyone would know if I was acting anyways. And I'm already, as soon as I turn this microphone up, I'm going to line up outside of Target Center because I can't wait for game 3 on Friday. But you're right, Gabe. We got to look forward to game 2. And speaking of that, if you're a Lakers fan right now, or if you're a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, what are you saying is something that you saw? I mean, it's a lopsided. You just straight up got your asses whooped. There's not a whole lot you can, as a Lakers fan or as a Lakers player, you can say, okay, this is something we could take advantage of. But if you're the Lakers and you're looking at this game, is there anything that they did well that they would want to try to capitalize on and play off of in game 2?
I mean, you saw what Jared Vanderbilt did from his energy and his effort. I think if the Lakers are going to win game 2, they have to bring that energy and effort into game 2, because without that, the Wolves are just going to slobber knock them, and it's going to be over.
Yeah, 100%. I thought that was one thing the Wolves kind of took the wind out of their sails. They took that energy away from them by playing that physical brand of basketball and kind of taking away the fast break, because it seemed early on that the Lakers were all over the fast break, and I believe the numbers were the Wolves ended up almost having double the amount of fast break points that the Lakers had. Because at first, that first quarter, I was watching and I was like, man, this Lakers team, for a team that was put together with a bunch of different pieces throughout the season, like, they are a precise team. They're a really clean team, and they're a team that plays with pace. And I thought the Wolves took away almost all of that. They took away their precision, they took away their pace, and kind of beat them at their own game.
Absolutely. And one thing I noticed too, they were targeting Luka and Austin Reeves. So however they could get them isolated on switches, they're targeting them, targeting Luka, making him play defense, targeting Austin Reeves, making him play defense. And I saw Ant blow by Luka multiple times. Like, Luka stood there like he was tied to a post, copyright PA. Like, I've never seen an NBA player just not play defense, that matador defense like that. Like, that was crazy in a playoff game.
Well, shout out to Joe Ingles, because Joe Ingles played Luka Doncic in the warm-ups and all the practices leading up to this. So he did something right. But yeah, I agree with you. I think, we all know the Lakers are going to come back, and they're going to come back hard. They're going to tweak, and they're going to adjust to everything they saw, and it's not going to be the same kind of game. No. The Wolves are going to have to bring it and then some to get past them a second time for sure in LA. But they can do it. I mean, when this team is firing on all cylinders, I've seen, I'm just kind of looking through some of the comments from Lakers fans and their reactions, and Minnesota, we're hot with all their shots, and they were making. There's no way they can make all those shots again in another game. They can.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they can. They
actually can. It wasn't
We've
like
seen
one
it.
guy was, had 60 points. I mean, it was so spread out that,
yes.
They're just dangerous in that way.
You're a great basketball mind, Amy.
Oh, stop. Stop it, Johnny B. We love you. You're the best.
John, we appreciate you, dog. And just give us a little game 2 preview before we let you go. Give us a game 2 prediction. Wolves by 40? 50?
I think if the Wolves do what they did in game 1, in game 2, they're coming back to Target Center up 2-0. A quick plug, Max, as well too.
Of course.
Treasure Island Watch Party, Game
Oh.
2.
Oh.
I will be hosting, so everybody come out to Treasure Island
Okay.
for Game 2.
Am I invited?
Yeah, absolutely, Max. Come on out.
Can you guarantee me right now that I'm gonna hit all 7s on the slots?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, all right. Well, we'll work on that off the air. Appreciate you, John, for joining us, and we'll see you at the Target Center ahead of Game 3. I'm sure we'll holler at you over these airwaves. Hootie-hoo! Appreciate you, MC.
All right,
John B.
guys.
You're the man, my
Bye, John.
dog. And
Bye,
to go
guys.
from John from Chandler in Sioux Falls. Chandler, you may be the last call on Howlin' with the homies, so you better say something good.
Hey, hootie,
Hootie.
All right, you said something good.
start.
I'm already in on you.
Hey, Max, you do a great job. I got to say that. But
Oh.
you know what? Back in the day, I grew up watching the Wolves. I made a jump ship when Kevin Garnett went to the Celtics. But I tell you what,
That's okay. We all did.
I watched those teams that won 15 games a year, every game of the year with my buddy Brady back in the day. We deserve a star like Anthony Edwards. I tell you what, we deserve a guy like this.
Sure do.
And to see the team perform like they do in the playoffs, I can't be any more excited than I am right now. It's game 1, though. It is game 1. We got a long road to go, but we got 15 more to go there, Maxie. I tell you what, let's go, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's right. And you're a true professional, Chandler, because I know you was about to curse right
You
there. I
heard
could
me.
hear you loading it up, but you're a true professional.
I caught myself. I caught myself. I'm trying to be a professional, but you know what? I'm just super pumped up after that game 1 win. You know, it just, you had to take one in LA. And after listening to national media all week, it gets frustrating.
Damn right.
But we have the team that can get this done. I truly believe it, and I'm here for the ride. I couldn't be more pumped up than I am.
I feel you on that one, Chandler. I 100% feel you on that one. We appreciate you for calling from Sioux Falls, my brother, and I hope that you call in again after we get another game 2 win.
I appreciate it. I'll be there at game 4, so
Yes,
I'll bring the
sir.
broom. How about that?
For sure.
Love it.
Let out a hootie hoo for me so I know where you're at.
Hootie,
You almost dropped an F-bomb in that one too, I think. Yeah. All right, Chandler. I love this so much for the fans who've been there through the thin years too. And
Right.
I know, like, you know, everyone is welcome on this bandwagon.
Of course.
But for those who have been here through all of those lean years, like, this is just so much sweeter, and I just love that for these fans.
And for it to be, I get it. It's one win. We're not throwing a parade or hanging a banner, but for this to, I mean, we might. I already got my ring ordered, so. But for it to feel like this, like last year wasn't. I know even after the run last year, some of us were like, well, it's just a 1-year thing. To feel like, no, this is how we're gonna live now. Like we're in the playoffs perennially now. We have Anthony
100%.
Edwards. We have Naz Reid. We have Jaden freaking McDaniels.
Yeah.
We can play against anybody, any day, anywhere, and not only beat them, but punch them right in the mouth and give them a KO.
Yeah. No matter what happens, and obviously, you know, we want this to go as far as we can. I think if you look at the beginning of the season and you say, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen with this year, and the struggles that we had this year, to finally see this team gel the way they have,
Right.
and this just butt whooping of LA the way they did, even if we went out after this, even if we did, I think we all can look back and go, okay, this is the beginning of something really, really special.
100%. Amy, I'll direct the same question towards you that I directed towards MC John B. If you're a Lakers fan right now, is there anything that you're seeing in this game that you're thinking, all right, we can utilize that and we can take advantage of that in game 2?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think we were hot, right? I mean, that helps, but I just feel like I don't know, man. I think I know that they know that we have depth. I know that they studied us. I know that they were prepared, but yet somehow it just looked like they weren't prepared. And I don't know. I'm that disconnect for me. I can't figure that out. So obviously they're gonna, take a look and they're gonna make a lot of adjustments. It's just, I don't know, Max.
I feel the same way.
I'm kind of at a loss for what they can
There's
do.
not a whole with the depth that they have. There's not a whole lot, and you look at. I mean, obviously, you just look at the box score. You have a 37-point game from Luka Doncic, 16 from Austin Reeves, 19 from LeBron James. That's usually good enough for you to beat most teams, but not this Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, you have a 37-point game from Luka Doncic, and you're still sitting here scratching your head like, what can we do? Because they're going to need guys like Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes to show up, guys that aren't used to necessarily having to be in those big spots for this Lakers team. And it's like you said, I saw a Lakers team that once they weren't just reliant on the star power, they didn't really know what to do outside of relying on that star power.
And what's going to be annoying for the next couple of days nationally is just to listen to all of the experts talk. They're not going to talk about how great we did. They're going to talk about what do the Lakers need to do to turn this thing around.
How did Game 1 impact LeBron James' legacy?
Exactly. Also, he's not a complainer. Did you know that he's not a complainer? That was said during the broadcast tonight. I was like,
oh, okay. Hang the banner.
Right? Seriously. So, I mean, there's a lot of that. We're just going to have to muddle through it. But I think we take our cue from the players who are just kind of like, whatever, man. We're just gonna play, play our frustrations out on the court and not at the refs, not at the, not getting teased, except for Finch.
Right.
You gotta love it. Whenever he gets teed up, it's like the best thing
all right, let's
ever.
go, Finch. Right?
It's the best.
Because he's such a cool, calm, collected guy, so something egregious had to happen for him to do that. But we're all super excited. Game 2 going down on Tuesday, and you can listen to that on the exclusive Minnesota Timberwolves channel on the free iHeartRadio app. As a matter of fact, you can just set a preset so you never have to even remember. It'll just load it up right for you, and you'll be listening to Alan and Jim on the call. But it's 11:30 at night. If you're listening right now, you're a true Wolves sicko, and we appreciate you. It's about 30 minutes away from 420, and it's appropriate because hopes are high here in the Twin Cities after a 117-95 win over the Los Angeles Lakers. Signing off for Howlin with the Homies, the first of many Howlin with the Homies to come, because I'm feeling another magical run. I ain't Penn or Teller, but I'm feeling some magic in this Timberwolves team. We'll holla at you. Because since the Wild are playing on Tuesday night as well, there's no Howlin with the Homies following game 2. Plus, it starts at freaking midnight. I mean, which we're already talking at midnight, but it'll be 2 in the morning by the time we get on the air. So we will holla at you ahead of game 3 going down at the Target Center. And methinks the Timberwolves will be holding a 2-0 lead when they welcome the Los Angeles Lakers to town. But in the meantime, I'm Max Fuller. That's Amy Hawker. Thank you for joining us, by the way, tonight, Amy. It was so much fun. So much fun. And Parker Fox, my dog Parker, will be back in the mix as well. And you can too, 800-320-5326. You can text us 64686. You can slide in my DMs at Max Fuller with 2 X's on Twitter, or X, by the way, or the Max Show. We don't even have to talk about Timberwolves basketball. We could just talk about anything. I'm down to talk anything, especially at this time of night. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'll holla at you ahead of game 3. And don't forget, you can enjoy game 2 on the free iHeartRadio app. This is Howlin' with the Homies. One last time for the road. Hootie hoo! Catch y'all soon. Timberwolves win, baby. Let's go. Peace.
651 Carpets Plus, we bring the showroom to you. Come on in. Here's how your free in-home estimate works. We bring you all the latest and greatest styles to complement your home. We use our state-of-the-art measuring system so we can give you the best price for your project on the spot. And we have thousands of products that you could have installed the next day. Call 651 Carpets Plus for your free in-home estimate.